Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel for war number 9 of Season 44. Today we're taking on DSVG. Again, both of these alliances stuck back in the middle of Platinum 1. So I originally had a very different team than what you're seeing here. So we've got Void, Omega Sentinel, and Odin for some pre-fights. I originally had Nimrod on the team, but I wasn't comfortable taking Nimrod into a Prey on the Weak fight later on, as you're going to see. So we reworked a couple things, and I was able to bring Omega Sentinel instead. So first off, we're on Path 2 here in Section 1. We have an easy Mephisto to deal with here with Void. I think we've taken Mephisto on various nodes this season, probably half a dozen times it feels like. And again, this is only a rank 4, so really the only goal here is to not take any hits. And if we can get out of here with without even taking any chip damage, that would be ideal. So nothing really going on with the nodes. We're applying the withers every time the drip feed node triggers on him, but Mephisto's not a tactic defender here, so we really don't have to worry about excessive amounts of power gain, not like we did on that Resistance's Fuel node a couple wars ago here. So I'm going to finish this fight with about 100% health here, probably trigger the Striker here, and that's going to finish him off. Alright, next up we have a Domino here on Path 11, and again, originally was going to go in this fight with Nimrod, put the Odin pre-fights on Nimrod for that later fight. But instead we get to use Omega. Omega is rank 5. My Nimrod's still only rank 4, so we get a nice rank advantage here. Went with the pre-fight, the heal block pre-fight rather, as I usually do in any generic fight with Omega Sentinel, just to prevent the defender from healing via willpower, and then pushing her to special 2 if I can. Doesn't really matter either way. This fight goes pretty well, you know, as far as Domino fights go. I think she gets lucky at the very end of the fight here and evades like twice, and then my auto block ends up saving me from further damage right here. Right? Okay, she evades there, hits into my auto block, and then she evades a second time, but I'm able to dex out of the way, and the plasmas finish her off. Alright, up in Section 2, we are on Path 2 again here. We have a Longshot on 20. So an interesting note about Longshot with this defense tactic, and that is, so normally you would have a 20% chance to trigger the Unstoppable when a buff expires. However, since Longshot's base ability accuracy is 300%, I believe he actually has a 60% chance to trigger that Unstoppable, and you're going to see it happens twice there. And right after the second time, I kind of realized what was happening, and that I would have to kind of adjust my strategy a bit and really try and avoid triggering any buffs at all. So right there, he triggered it a third time, so now I'm just kind of waiting it out, parry heavy to trigger the slow on him, and then from here I'm trying to keep like one eye on that slow debuff so that we can knock him down in time and avoid triggering the Unstoppable again. So definitely an interaction that I didn't see coming, but you know, that's how it works. You got to adjust mid-fight. We get through it no problem. Alright, here's the fight that I was probably most nervous about this war. We got a P90X on 29. Originally was assigned Nimrod here with the Odin pre-fights, but I was really concerned about the power gain between his armor up buffs and the personal space placebo node. So we reconfigured another fight that I would have had later on, and DLL ended up taking it, and that freed me up to use Void with the Odin pre-fights in this one instead. So the placebo node is not going to affect us because we're tactics, so we're going to be applying withers instead, which is great. And then once we get the petrifies up, Prey on the Weak also won't be a concern. So until we get those double petrifies active, you can see me playing a bit conservatively, not really pushing her too far above a bar of power. And then the Odin pre-fights are really just there as a safety net until we get enough debuffs applied where we won't be taking any of the damage from the EMP mod shocks here. Another thing you're seeing me doing is only special intercepting when I'm using a special attack, and that's because if you do a special intercept, you are guaranteed not to trigger the glance. And since Storm has glancing in her kit, she can actually prevent Void's debuffs from applying with his special attacks, and I definitely don't want that to happen, so I'm only special intercepting. And at this point we have 5 unique debuffs active. She is ticking down quite well, and it's really just a matter of waiting it out here. So I'm pretty comfortable with her special one. I fight a Storm on my AQ path every day, so very, very comfortable dexing that special one. And just waiting it out, and there we go. Shout out to J-Will, by the way, one of the great guys over there in DSVG. All right, we have yet another Mysterio on 49. This is only a rank 4. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, this maybe won't be as bad as the other ones I fought this season. But this is probably the closest I've come to dying in this fight all season, to a rank 4 6-star. And you're going to see why. Like, he's just so passive. He's not interested in throwing his special one at all. And the amount of brute force degen that I take in this fight is so silly. And I just, there's just no way around it. Like, if he doesn't want to do what he's supposed to do, you really have very little recourse here. So I can't stun him, obviously, just trying to bait out a heavy. There I get a nice intercept off to stop the brute force. And now here we are back again, trying to bait out another special one from him. Brute force has triggered yet again, and now we're just ticking down. I think I accidentally parry him trying to dex here at 1.2, which makes it even worse. Still won't throw that special one, so now I'm like, okay, do I push him to the special 2, or do I keep waiting it out? We're losing the health race at this point here. He finally tosses the special 1, and I'm able to combo him, but here we go. I accidentally stun him, and we're down to 20% health. I'm in the corner, push him to the special 2, knock him down with a heavy to get the slow debuff, and fortunately he tosses that right away, and it doesn't matter. If that had been a higher ranked Mysterio, I almost certainly would have died in that fight. So got out of there by the skin of my teeth. So we actually went on to win. We actually won a war. It's amazing. Feels great. That losing streak over. 5 kills, 0 deaths for me. Bit of a light war compared to some of the ones I had early in this season. And then our record has improved to 4-5. We have 3 wars left on the season, probably needing 2-1 to sneak into the bottom of Masters at this rate. So it's going to be a really, really tight finish for us. Hopefully we can come together and get it done. Folks, if you enjoyed this, please let me know by hitting that like button. And as always, thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.